Like, isn't it crazy to think that in 2024, e.l.f. Cosmetics is gonna be 20 years old? Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Erika Tesla here. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a walk down memory lane. I am doing a very fun collab with Amanda from MAKEUP.JUST.FOR.FUN, and I want to thank her so much for inviting me to do this collaboration with her. We are taking some of our favorite or most used products from way back in the day before the beauty guru craze of like the 2010s and beyond. And we're gonna be using those products kind of like how we would today. And so what I decided to do was to pick some products that were my staples way before I got into like makeup YouTube and social media, and kind of do like a little bit of what I would have done back then. And maybe a little bit updated. So I had fun shopping for some of the products that I used to use back in the day more frequently. I think for anyone who is either like full-time or part-time content creator, you get so wrapped up trying out like all the new stuff all the time, and makeup companies are always coming out with like new products, and it can be very exciting, but it can also be very overwhelming. And so this was so refreshing to be able to take a little step back and think about, well, what did I used to use? Also, I have a little fun, like I had a little fun like putting on my like butterfly clips, because like I was loving the butterfly clips back in the day, and my little earrings. And of course I have a little Bath and Body Works situation happening here, guys. Okay, I gotta I love it. I want to say thank you so much to Amanda. So just to give you guys a little bit of background on how we connected, she was so kind to reach out to me and ask me if I would be interested in doing a collab video. And of course I was like, yes. I've been following Amanda and her channel and her social media for a few years now, and she's someone that I very deeply admire. She has incredible content. She's so dedicated and very professional. I want to be like her when I grow up. I would love to be that. Just, you know, she's just amazing, guys. She's really amazing, and I really sincerely know for a fact that like what you guys see on like YouTube and like in her social media, like she's an incredibly kind person too. And I think that is so special, because for as accomplished as she is, she's incredibly gracious and humble and just down to earth. And I think a lot of people really appreciate that about her, and that's why her content is like really refreshing, incredibly comforting. Like I love watching her videos. She has such a soothing voice, very calm, an incredibly thorough job when she's reviewing makeup. And I think that is something as a content creator that you aspire to. I don't know about you, but every time Amanda releases a ColourPop video, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna watch it. She does these incredible comparisons. She does really great videos about different indie brands. I think a lot of our makeup tastes overlap, actually. It's just really fun to watch her content. More than likely, you are coming to my channel from her channel, because I am a mini micro influencer. So that was like another thing that I really appreciated, because she reached out to me, and I think as a micro creator, when a content creator has a bigger following, like it's really, really thoughtful. And I just really appreciate her so much. She's such a kind person. I would love for us to connect in person one day. We got kind of thrown off by the panini, but that's neither here nor there. Amanda's just like a really great person. So I could sing her praises all day, and I think it's well deserved. So thank you so much, Amanda, for inviting me to do this video with you. I'm really excited to see what you do. I know it's gonna be amazing. Thank you to everyone who has come from Amanda's channel to watch this video. Like I really appreciate you as well, and I hope that you're having fun. Just a little bit about me. I love to talk about makeup, all kinds of beauty products, that sort of thing. And I'm always open to suggestions. And I have a lot of things that I would love to do for 2023. I'm also on different social media channels, so definitely follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm always uploading over there as well. And I do a lot of short form content here on YouTube if you're interested in things like swatches and like new makeup, that kind of thing. It is a really chill corner over here, guys. Like, we like to just be calm and have fun and chat about makeup and just enjoy ourselves. And so it means a lot to me that you decided to click on this video today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that you have fun watching this. We're gonna get into the tutorial for this kind of like 90s, early 2000s look. I hope you guys really enjoy it and it brings back some fun memories for you. And leave a comment for me letting me know what are some makeup products that just take you back to the past that either you use to this day or they don't exist anymore and you wish the brand would bring it back, because that's happened to me as well. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. I'm going to show you how I would use my blast from the past products using a combination of today's techniques and how I would have applied the makeup like back in the day. I'm gonna start with the skincare component, which is this Pond's cream. I did a little Google research to find out like how long these brands have been around, and Pond's has been around since 1905. And one of the reasons I decided to include it in this video is it's the one skincare item that I consistently grew up with. My great aunt raised me, and so she was much older, and I just remember her using this like every day basically, either for skin prep and also as a makeup remover. Like, she would slather this all over her skin and use it to basically remove it, kind of comparable to how people like to use the Clinique Take the Day Away balm, like cleansing balm, except this is a cream. My aunt had amazing skin, so I'm gonna just take a little bit to prep my skin and moisturize. And that smell is bringing back like so many memories, guys. Okay, so before I move on to the next step, don't judge me, guys, but one of my major skincare regimen products back in the day was the St. Ives apricot scrub, which I think now gets you like screamed at. And people don't really use this anymore. My skincare regimen would be considered like pretty horrible by today's standards, because it was like Dove soap, Pond's cream, and like St. Ives apricot scrub when I really wanted that like deep cleansing. There weren't face masks. I maybe like the Freeman's masks. I didn't manage to get my hands on one of those for this video, but that was like, you know, when I was feeling fancy. So that was it, the Pond's and the St. Ives. I don't think you guys are too excited by a bar of Dove soap, but that was what we did back in the day before your skincare routine was 800 steps, which mine is now, and I revel in that. I enjoy that very, very much. So moving on, my process for putting on like foundation and everything like that was pretty simple. I was like a MAC girl. I didn't start wearing makeup seriously until I got to college. So between the years 2001 to 2005, I was in college, and it probably wasn't close to my senior year that I started purchasing my own makeup products. Like every once in a while, like a girlfriend would be like, hey, you know, let's kind of jazz you up a little bit. If we were gonna go out, they'd let me borrow some stuff. But like, I was pretty makeup free for a long time. I started out with the MAC's Studio Fix foundation, and like I didn't even buy the pump. As you can see here, I just have it, and I would like take this, guys, and I would just like put a little on my hands, which I'm gonna do now. And I would just apply this with my hand, goop with my hands. And I remember my cousin, I'm looking in the mirror as I apply this. I have a cousin who was like, aren't you gonna like put that on with a brush? And I didn't know what she was talking about, guys. I was like, that's like too much. So I'm applying this. I hope this goes on really well, but I for years just used my hands to apply my foundation. I mean, like, your hands are like, that's like one of our oldest tools as humans that we have at our disposal. So yeah, this is what I would do. I would just, you know, put the foundation on. It's looking kind of crazy, but I guarantee you, like, this is what I did to make it work. This is the shade NC35. Looking a little light, but I got this shade because this is what I used, and I will do my best to modernize this look a little bit, but NC35 was my shade for years. I don't think it's bad. I think I can work with this, but yeah, I really liked the Fluid Fix foundation because here's the thing. In the early 2000s, especially for like women of color, and I have a medium-ish skin tone, but even for me, it's a little tricky sometimes finding shades in the drugstore that actually matched my skin tone or didn't make me look kind of like gray or have the wrong undertone. And drugstore products have come such a long way. So the reason MAC was just such a good option was because it was a little on the pricey side for me at that time as a college student, but still more affordable than like an Estee Lauder foundation or a Lancome foundation. So for me, MAC was like kind of the entry point of higher end makeup that I could afford, but like also, you know, had like the shade, even though I got it wrong, guys, clearly, but like the undertones weren't off, and you know, the foundation didn't break up. I think drugstore foundations now, like they compare, if not exceed, some of the higher end foundations in terms of their formulation. Like they have come such a long way, and I think that a driving force for that was like the, you know, YouTube influencer reviewing these products. I think that it really helped companies to see, you know, there's real people, diverse people using their products, and, you know, it helped them to appreciate like, we can still formulate something good at an affordable price. So this was like about where I would stop with the coverage, guys. I would take a dab of the foundation, and when I was feeling really fancy, I would go ahead and take the Pro Longwear concealer. It'd either be this one or the one in the little pot. There wasn't like a special method. Like now you can dot your concealer on, you can do all these different things. And I think, you know, it just really depends on you, like what technique works. But I would literally just like go like this, like just maybe even a little less than that, and just dab it on. There wasn't really like color correcting. I didn't do any color correcting. I just put the concealer on under my eye. But I'm gonna blend this in. I'm gonna keep blending this in until it looks like a little less crazy. So let's dab, dab, dab this in. This is like if Trust the Process was a person. So that's kind of what I did as far as like foundation. Now for setting my face, okay, I would use the MAC Studio Fix powder, and I did not have a special powder brush. I literally, so this is a fresh one, guys, okay? I would literally just take the little sponge in there, which I don't know if you guys still use these, but I would just take the sponge and I would just like press the product in like all over my face. Like this is what I did to set my makeup. So whenever I needed a refill at MAC, like that was the complexion trifecta for me, was to just put the powder. There was no like special powder brush that I used. There was no like special sponge that I used. This was what I did. It was very, very simple. Maybe not the most exciting makeup routine, but this is what got me through until at least, I'm not gonna lie, probably till 2013. Maybe 2011. I'll give myself some credit because I started watching YouTube videos. I think they started taking off like really around 2007, 2008 is like the inception of the YouTube guru era. Because, you know, I have been watching YouTube for well over a decade now, and I've watched so many channels like come and go and grow. You guys, there was a time when I would have just left my eyebrows alone. Like this would have been like, let's skip the brows and go straight to eyeshadow and mascara. Like, I did not do my eyebrows. And actually, like, they're not looking their worst. I don't know how many of you fell for the lie of skinny eyebrows in the early 2000s, but I am a victim of skinny eyebrows from the early 2000s. So the way we're gonna kind of modernize this look is I'm going to do some brow for you guys, and the product that I elected to use is an e.l.f. brow pencil. Now, e.l.f. is nowadays considered an OG brand, but I remember when e.l.f. was founded in 2004, and one of my friends from college emailed a bunch of us, and she's like, there's this new brand that's come out, and everything was like $1. And I'm telling you, like, I became obsessed. Nowadays, you can't find anything from e.l.f. for less than, like, I think $2 is maybe like the least expensive product unless something goes on sale. They're still really affordable, but obviously with like inflation and increased, you know, costs, things like that, their prices have gone up, but it is still an incredibly affordable brand. They come out with so many amazing and affordable products. And if I had been the kind of person that had the wherewithal to do my eyebrows before 2008, 2009, I don't know. When did I start doing my eyebrows? I probably didn't start doing my eyebrows till the 2010s because it just wasn't something that I thought about. I would actually like tweeze them so skinny. Like on my wedding day, I have like no eyebrows. That might be the only thing I regret about that day is the way my eyebrows looked. I'm just gonna like fill my brows in. I've been through so many phases with my eyebrows over the years, and you know, I feel like I'm just now, as I'm turning 40 this month, I'm kind of starting to get my stride as far as like how I like them, not overdoing it, not underdoing it. It's kind of coming together. I mean, sisters not twins, right? We're gonna make that work, guys. We're gonna make that work. So this is my modern interpretation of how I would have done my brows with the product that I would have used if I had been the kind of individual to be so concerned with eyebrows. I did not have a care in the world from the years 1997 till about 2009 about my eyebrows, and it really shows. It really shows. You couldn't tell me that there was any other eyeshadow in the world besides MAC Naked Lunch. Like, this was the only eyeshadow. Now I have 10 billion eyeshadows, but this, at that time, like in 2005, you couldn't tell me that this was not the only eyeshadow. I wanted to attempt to kind of update this look a little bit. So I pulled in something else, and it is this e.l.f. palette from, it's like their bite-size eyeshadow collection. This is in Truffles. They used to have, e.l.f. used to have quads, but they were a different format. They were like more square, and the pans were split into like triangles. And like, I'll try to like pop up like a photo over here if I can of like how the e.l.f. quads used to look. And when e.l.f. was first founded in 2004, I loved those things. Like, it was really, really fun. I mean, I had a couple of them. I didn't go crazy. I think like after the age of the makeup guru is kind of when like the collecting of makeup started to become like a bigger thing. But like, I literally had like 2 or 3 of them because they were like a couple bucks each, maybe like $4 or something like that. And they had all these like different colors, and they were really cute. This was kind of like the reincarnation of that, is these little bite-sized eyeshadows. I'm gonna pull in this blending brush, and I'm gonna go in with this like medium brown shade here. I probably could have pulled in was like the Naked, what is it? The Naked, it's like the mini Naked, it was like a mini Naked matte palette. It is discontinued. They don't make that anymore. They have like the second version of that one, like the sequel to that one. So I'm gonna pull this in as like a crease shade. It's such a nice formula. I mean, these bite-sized palettes are really affordable, even by like today's standards, okay, of affordability. So I'm just using this as a crease color, guys, and I'm blending, and I'm gonna keep blending. Yeah, e.l.f. has been around Oh my gosh, they're gonna have like, I wonder what they're gonna do for their 20-year anniversary. Like, isn't it crazy to think that in 2024, e.l.f. Cosmetics is gonna be 20 years old? And in my mind, because I remember when they were founded, like I always think of them as like a newer brand, but like they're established. Like when you're 20, like when a car turns 20 or 25 years old, like it's considered vintage, which is like crazy. So like these companies that we essentially grew up with, like they're turning a corner. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Naked Lunch. I'm not gonna make this like too extravagant of a look, but I'm gonna take the Naked Lunch. It's very pretty, like satin shade. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a frost. It's a frost finish. Okay, and I'm gonna put this on the lid. Oh, I'm falling in love with this again. It's giving me a pretty shine. That's pretty, guys. So I'm taking my 217. I'm applying the Naked Lunch over the lid in tandem with the e.l.f. Bite Size palette. And one thing that's also changed are my eyelids, guys. Sometimes I have to like dab the eyeshadow on, because if I don't, like if I just do the sweeping motion, it does not work. Like I will have like these little trails because the skin is like it's crepey now. I guess that's what happens when you get older, and it's okay. That is part of life. So I'm gonna go back in with this like little brown shade. I don't wanna like overcomplicate the look, guys, because my routine was like very simple. So even this is a lot. We're almost there with the eye look. I'm going to do a little liner. So the way that I did my liner, guys, I like used the e.l.f. liquid liner. This used to be $1. I think it's like $2 now, but it is still a favorite of mine. I used to use this before like the winged liner era. Like I think winged liner is like gone in and out of style, but I didn't really wing out the eyeliner that much. This is probably one of the e.l.f. products that I continue to purchase all these years later. It is such a great eyeliner. It's very inexpensive. Used to like to do was I would put the black in the waterline as well. The closest I have is this Wet n Wild gel eyeliner. This is a newer one, but Wet n Wild's been around for a long time, guys. Like Wet n Wild, let's see, I have my little notes here. Wet n Wild was started in 1979, so it actually predates my own existence. What I would do, guys, I would just do like black eyeliner in the waterline, kind of like on the lower lash line. So like it was like lined, like I lined like my whole eye. And I wasn't trying to go for a smoky eye at all, but I used a combination of a liquid eyeliner, like the e.l.f. one, and a black eye pencil. And my memory's escaping me, guys, like which one that I used. Now there are so many brands. The eyes are lined, okay? Like I did a full outline of the eyes, okay? Let's see. So now, like, let's do eyelash curling. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes, and then I'm also gonna do a little bit of mascara. So I used to, like, I still have this e.l.f. eyelash curler. So e.l.f. made the first eyelash curler that I ever owned in my entire life. And this is an e.l.f. one too. And when I thought to curl my eyelashes, it was with this eyelash curler. You couldn't tell me that there was any other mascara other than the Maybelline Great Lash in this pink tube, okay? Like this mascara was like life. I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. face palette, and this is like the contour palette. Like this is like probably from like the Beauty Guru-ish time, but again, like e.l.f. Cosmetics was just like one of those like go-to brands for me. So I'm kind of going in like the shade names, I don't remember what they are, but like I'm going in with like the kind of like medium tan here, and I'm just gonna like bring some color back into my face with like the deeper shade a little bit, yeah, to like kind of warm up. But yeah, it does feel like at times the makeup space is like very saturated as well. But I think for millennials like myself and like earlier generations, like there were just like a few big brands. CoverGirl, which I'll talk about in a second. Maybelline has always been around. Revlon was always around. Fashion Fair made a comeback. Now, Fashion Fair was like a big deal for me growing up. I did not wear it personally. Most of the ladies in my life growing up wore Fashion Fair because they had deeper complexions, and like I mentioned earlier, like it was just like really hard to find products that complemented deeper skin tones. And even for me as a medium person, it hasn't been quite the struggle, but again, there were just limitations. So I'm really glad in some respects like there are more brands out there, because there are a lot of brands that have chosen to make sure that they cater to a diverse group. Okay, so I'm gonna take this ColourPop brush. ColourPop didn't exist until I think 2014 was when ColourPop came around. I remember when they were started, and like it was just, remember when it was just Super Shock shadows? I'm gonna use this Milani blush. These blushes did come out in 2014, so they were kind of like into like the really run up to like the height, I think, of like beauty guruism in like 2015, 2016. But when these came out, like these were just like all over Instagram. So this is kind of like a later makeup product, but this is the shade Wild Rose, and I was obsessed with these. I mean, like you saw these all over Instagram. The hype has really calmed down, even though these are like still really excellent blushes. So I'm just taking this pink shade. So Milani, according to my research, was founded in 2001. That absolutely marked a pivot point in drugstore makeup, because like I mentioned before, then like the options were really limited. Not that you couldn't find good stuff, but yeah, I think Milani definitely is a trailblazer. Luxe feeling drugstore makeup, because I mean, like this is so cute. It's beyond basic, guys. Like you don't feel basic putting on anything from Milani. For highlighter, I'm gonna do a Wet n Wild highlighter. I wasn't really a big highlighter person in the early 2000s, but a lot of this is kind of like in the hypothetical, like if I had to choose, like what would have been available. The Wet n Wild, this is a highlighting powder, and these are really nice. They're inexpensive. I might have had, you know, a MAC one that I used, but I can't remember. Or in a lot of the MAC blushes, sometimes like they infused like a little bit of like highlight in them, like a little glowiness to them. Later in the aughts, like Wet n Wild was like big. I don't know if you guys remember how big Comfort Zone was back in the day. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just like blending this in. Like Comfort Zone, oh my gosh, I think I was like obsessed with that palette. I'm not mad at it, but I can definitely see how and why my makeup tastes have evolved over time. I have a couple of options when it comes to the lips. This is the OG. We have a little lip gloss here, and I'm gonna put this on. And you guys, like this is what I would do. I would just put this on. I didn't do anything else. I just put lip gloss on. I thought, okay, I'm famous now. Like I am the bee's knees, and it's very sticky. It's very, very sticky. I have a lot of fond memories of like being out in the wind and the lip gloss just collecting my hair. I'm not in danger of that happening as it stands now, because as you can see, I have like very short hair, but this is what I would wear all the time, is like MAC lip gloss. Like that was a staple for me. And this is probably about as much makeup as I would have done, but I'm gonna show you guys like another lip option. So I'll show you like two more lip options, but Revlon has always been a staple. So this is the shade Bare Affair. I really wanted to be fancy with it. I would take a MAC pencil. This is the shade Chestnut. MAC, I think, had like the monopoly for me on like lip pencils for a long time. The way I would pair this, I love Chestnut with a little nude. So how 90s is this, guys? We have a brown lip and a frosty eye. late 90s, early 2000s, right? The final lip option, which I saved for last, is the CoverGirl. I used to be obsessed with these guys. This is the 24-hour Outlast All Day color, and this is in the shade Brazen Raisin. So I've always been about like kind of like the nudie lip colors. Every once in a while I'll feel like very excited and do like a brighter lip color. This is like a whole multi-step process, and I really became interested in these around mid-aughts, I would say, because when I was working and I didn't want to like have to worry about lip gloss sticking, you know, to my hair or like changing my lipstick, like these really last forever. So I'm gonna put that on. So with this, there's two parts. You put on the lip color first. Okay, and you can't put your lips together for 60 seconds. So I'm gonna put my timer on. There's a countdown. Oh yeah, and that's done. Okay. Okay, so I waited the minute for the color to dry down, and then it comes with this like little balm, like a lip balm that you put, and it gives it this like shine. So it is transfer proof, and it's a pretty great product. It's lasted, I mean, when like now I'm like revisiting it, I'm like, how come I haven't used this in such a long time? If you prep your lips properly, it's pretty decently comfortable and affordable, long wearing formula and a lot of colors. For me, like these raisiny, like mauve-y type of tones, like those are like my go-to type of lip colors, like a, you know, a renewed or something like that. Like I'm very much in that range of colors. This is like the look, guys. Like this is how I would probably wear the products that I used to really gravitate towards. This is a finished look. We have my little butterfly clips. I have my little butterfly earrings. Like I'm feeling like very like hybrid, like 90s 2000s right now with this look. So let me know what you guys think about this, and if this was fun. I had a lot of fun doing this, and thank you so much to Amanda for inviting me to do this collab. She is absolutely fantastic. I admire her so much. So it's just a great thrill and an honor for me to be able to do this with her, and I can't wait to see her video. I'm sure it'll be amazing per usual, and I want to thank all of you guys for sticking around to watch this video. If you're coming from Amanda's channel, I really appreciate you checking me out, checking out my channel. I would love it if you would subscribe, like this video, and leave me a comment and let me know what was your favorite like back in the day product, if you still use it now. If you would like to see more content like this, do you want to see like more like retro makeup videos? Because I think it's kind of fun. I have an idea for some of the recent makeup that's come out that like focuses on like very retro themes, so that is coming up. But again, this was so much fun to do, and thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time out of your day to spend it with me. I really appreciate it, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye. I think the one thing that I would probably do differently is like add a little wing at the end, guys. Like that's the one thing I feel like I can't live without. Ooh, I think I like the cat eye. Just kidding, don't be scared. Butterfly clips. Mariah Carey. Anyone? Yes. I can't sing that high. I can't sing that high. Okay, guys. All right, you're awesome. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. Bye.